I've asked 1427 DJs what is the best DJ software. I've installed and tested them all just so I could show you. Beatport DJ is a web app by beatport.com. I'm not even sure what the goal of the app is because you can only use tracks from Beatport, not even your own. On top of that, the app is laggy and often unresponsive, especially with a DJ controller. Timing is everything for DJs. The app has some limitations. Most notably, you can't nudge a track forwards or backwards, even with a DJ controller. You can only do that with the tempo slider. The partial DJ controller support, and not a lot of controllers are supported in the first place. I miss Smart List. I miss a keylog and transpose feature. And I miss being able to search for compatible tracks based on key and tempo. Just skip this one. Use any other software in this video. You will be better off, trust me. A link to the full review of this software you can find in the description. Mix with 3 axes is the only true free software in this list. It is open source software and available on Mac, Windows and even Linux. For open source software, it is actually quite good. Most open source software is super clunky and doesn't always do what you would expect, which is still the case here and there in the software. For example, the controller support is clunky, although really flexible because Mix can learn your own custom MIDI commands, even from non-DJ controllers. When analyzing music, the software seems to be frozen for minutes on end, and the metronome to correct the beat grid is an effect that you have to load in. The main complaint I have about the software is the inaccuracy of the beat grid. It is slightly off for every single track, and regularly tracks are completely off grid. Some features that I'm missing are, first of all, auto stem separation. In theory, with stem separation, you can separate drums from vocals and melodies, for example. But stem separation in pretty much all DJ software sucks, so I don't think that you're missing out. But there are some DJs out there that don't care about audio quality. Also missing is cloud storage support like Dropbox or Google Drive. I don't use it, but a lot of DJs do. And I'm also missing support for streaming services like Beatport and BeatSource. Again, also I don't use it, but a lot of DJs do. Compared to other DJ software when it comes to usability and beat grid accuracy, yeah, other software is just better. But on the other hand, free is never too expensive. Deduced is the DJ application that is bundled with Hercules controllers, thus doesn't support other controllers. There are 2 versions of the software, a software with the controller and a version without the controller. Both versions are free. The version with a controller can handle 4 decks instead of 2 and has the ability to record your DJ set. The user interface is pretty straightforward and uncluttered, although the play and the cue button could have been bigger in my opinion. The feature set of the software is pretty much complete, especially for the beginner. Something that I really like about the software is the flashing red of the waveform to alert the DJ that the track is ending. But there are some serious issues with the software. First of all, the beat grid is often wrong, not sometimes, but often. Second, I had regular crashes when grabbing the waveform with the mouse. And third, stem separation sounds really bad compared to other software. Sticking a fork in your eye all of a sudden seems like a fun experience comparatively. I've created a comprehensive list of all features of all DJ software in this video in a table and compare them side by side. I did the same thing for the performance of all DJ software, so I compare them side by side in a table on memory usage, CPU usage, analyzing time, startup time, etc. You can find all that in the article version of this video. If you're interested, the link is in the description. DJ Pro has a very clean and responsive user interface, big buttons for easy navigation and no stuff in the way that you don't need. DJ Pro is one of those software programs that just gets it right. The audio processing algorithms to time stretch and keylog are very good. Also, the auto stem separation is amongst the best I've heard in DJ software, but regretfully you can't import your whole library in one big batch. You have to drag tracks per 100 or so in the software. On top of that, it doesn't analyze tracks for key and tempo on import, which is a bit annoying. It analyzes a song once you use it in one of the DACs. Algorithm, the maker of the software, contacted me after reading my review on my website, and they said you can trigger the analyzing manually. DJ Pro is one of the few DJ programs that natively supports the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. Something I really like is that DJ Pro sets hot cues automatically, which is an absolute time saver. I do miss some features, however, most notably open or Camelot key notation to make harmonic mixing easier. It shows only classic keys. Smart lists. Then the slip mode, I couldn't find it. I know that the iPad version has it. I hardly use it, so not a deal breaker in my book. Beat jump would be nice to be able to correct a mistake. The iPad version has it. Also, searching for compatible tracks based on key and tempo would be a nice feature to have. Nevertheless, I really like the software, but my biggest beef with the software is Algorithm only offers a license in the form of a subscription. By the way, I released a free ebook on how to start your DJ career, the truth about DJing. It talks about where to start, how to get gigs, equipment, social media for DJs and much more. It's completely free. You can download it with the link in the description below. The user interface in the next software is nice and clean with big buttons for easy clickability. I'm talking about Traktor. Traktor has an extremely customizable user interface, but not in a good way. There are tons of deck types, views, deck type views, modes, switches, panels, menu, and a pressing the spacebar view, which all completely change the look of the software. The Q button, for example, isn't displayed in every view, or was it deck type or deck type view? I can't remember. When you start the software for the first time, you get at least 100 questions, which I don't exactly know how to answer. After that, an overcrowded settings screen is shoved in my face. Yeah, it all feels very intimidating for a first-time user, and I've tested all DJ software. Traktor is super light on system resources, which I see as a big thumbs up. However, analyzing the music is amongst the slowest of all software. The software supports auto stem separation of existing tracks, but also supports playing stem tracks, which is a unique feature that no other DJ software has. This is very useful because the audio quality of auto stems, well, yeah, sucks, but stem tracks, which you can download from Beatport, have a very good audio quality. Traktor uses the open key notation instead of the Camelot notation. It's not an impossible hurdle to overcome because, well, yeah, open key notation works basically the same as Camelot, but things are named differently. Despite my complaints, I actually like the software and I would recommend it for experienced DJs. For beginners, yeah, that's a different story. I would look at the next DJ software in this list because it's more user-friendly. The price of Traktor is extremely reasonable for DJ software. Next up is the software that probably every DJ looked at when they started out. Certainly I have. This is a Virtual DJ. The software that is known to work with everything, from controllers to other software. But Virtual DJ has an image problem. It is known to be cheap software for beginners. And before reviewing, I thought so too, but I did a complete 180. The software is very user-friendly, very powerful, fast, responsive, feature-rich, and ideal for beginner DJs and professional DJs. Virtual DJ is one of those software programs that just gets it. The software looks really nice and you can even choose your own UI in the options screen. I have to give props to the visual album art that is spinning on the record player and the arm that is moving towards the center of the virtual record. Yeah, sure, it's eye candy, but it looks so nice! The software supports stem separation on existing tracks, but yeah, it doesn't really sound good. The old-fashioned EQ mixing, which you can luckily switch to, sounds much better. I miss an easy Camelot or open key notation for easy harmonic mixing, but it shows the steps in key difference between tracks, which I haven't seen in other DJ software. Virtual DJ supports a slew of streaming services like Tidal, Deezer, iDJ Pool, their own platform, BeatSource, Beatport and SoundCloud. Virtual DJ has also full cloud storage support for Dropbox, Google Drive and Microsoft OneDrive. You can use the software for free without a controller in a non-professional setting. But I would always recommend using a controller for any software, by the way. It makes your DJ life a lot easier. Virtual DJ is good for beginners because it can do a lot of hand-holding, like automatic key and tempo matching between decks. But you're not forced to. Professional DJs can switch the hand-holding off. Virtual DJ is my personal number one. And guess 3 times where you can find the link to the full review in the description. Yeah, the next one. You put it on number 2. I wouldn't have. This is Serato, which has an okay user interface, but nothing to write home about. For example, the buttons are quite small. Serato is software that you need to operate in a crowded club with sticky surfaces, also for your mouse and fingers on a trackpad, for example. A big hitbox for buttons would be really useful. Serato supports stem separation, specifically vocal separated from instrumental. I will circle back to that. But it doesn't sound good. The instrumental sometimes bleeds through the vocal. And it sounds like a badly compressed MP3 of a cat being strangled underwater. Serato is a real big memory hog. When you choose Serato, make sure you have enough memory. DJ software shouldn't be that hard on a computer looking at other software. But I've seen it using 5 gigabytes without any hesitance, while the rest uses 1, maybe 2. By far, my biggest complaint about the software is that the beat grid of tracks is always wrong, and I know I will get a lot of hate for this in the comments for calling this out. Some tracks were completely off for no reason, and others were shifted ever so slightly back in time. No track was analyzed correctly, which means that cue points, which it luckily sets automatically, and loops that you set are also incorrectly set by default. And I've tested the same tracks in Traktor, Rekordbox and Virtual DJ, and they were analyzed correctly. For the software that is used so often by professionals and the most basic feature doesn't even work, frankly, that's embarrassing. Mix, I mean the DJ software Mix with 3 axes, has an excuse. It's free. Serato is one of the most expensive DJ software in this list.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
You can use the software with a controller, which unlocks some extra features like stem separation for drums, for example. Remember that I said I'll come back to that? And that will also change the UI a bit. There are 3 versions of the software, Lite, Pro and Suite. The Lite version looks completely different, by the way. And the Suite version includes essential features like EQ mixing, effects, tempo sync, so time stretching, and key sync. The DJs put it on number 1. I would have said, wow, number 4 or 5 and put Virtual DJ on number 1 and DJ Pro on number 2. But who am I other than a slave to the data? This is industry standard Rekordbox. Rekordbox is both library management software for professional DJ gear in clubs and festivals. This is the export mode in Rekordbox, but it is also DJ performance software, which you can use with or without a controller. This is the performance mode in Rekordbox. Overall, Rekordbox feels kind of slow and sluggish, especially when you compare it to other software out there. Virtual DJ, Virtual DJ. The UI in Rekordbox is cluttered and crowded with very tiny buttons, and when it comes to compatibility, well, Alpha Theta, formerly known as Pioneer DJ, is market leader, so it is compatible with industry standard hardware like the CDJs, but with not much else. Is the software good? Meh. Is the software bad? No, not really. But the inconsistencies and the amount of bugs in the software, it's really hard to recommend it. There are 6 versions of the software. Yes, really. First of all, the free version, which is extensive enough to be useful as DJ performance software. Second of all, the hardware unlocked version, which unlocks some features like the ability to record your mixes with newer controllers. They will boot you with an older controller. And 4 versions of monthly subscriptions with features like syncing with Dropbox and Google Drive. However, Pioneer DJ is getting worse and worse and worse and worse over time, and I'm not sure if they can retain this #1 market position. This video explains, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more DJ videos.